Good morning. My name is Thiago Martins. I am here to talk about energy harvesting for ultra-low power generation in cubesats using thermoelectricity. Satellites must have reliable sources of long-lasting energy to ensure the expected operation of all vital electronic and electronic systems. Solar cells together with batteries are typically applied. The efficiency of a solar cell is around 31% of its theoretical limit. In real applications, solar cells have even lower efficiency. When satellite passes through the eclipse region, the potential for energy conversion decreases. Other problem: the heat generated by the Joule effect in all nanosatellite electronic components correspond up to 98% of the electrical power produced. All of these heat flux are lost to deep space. An alternative to these problems may be the use of thermoelectric devices as power generators. These devices are made of semiconductor materials and are capable of converting heat into electricity when a temperature gradient is applied over their surfaces. Therefore, the thermoelectric generators can generate energy during eclipse periods, as well as take advantage of the operational heat that is dissipated by electric components. Thus, the present work seeks to evaluate the performance of converters to develop a harvest model that stores energy from thermal gradients existing in a cubesat orbit. Studies carried out the temperature data obtained numerically using the CFAG software. Edemar Marsh presented the temperature data in the second edition of the Latin American Cubesat workshop, in the work entitled Numerical Investigation of the Influence of the Orbit Inclination on Thermal Control of Nanosatellites in Livio. A test bench responsible for the generation of the temperature gradients and a harvest model were developed. The current work is a direct continuation of the work Energy Potential Evaluation of a Thermoelectric Harvesting in Cubesats, presented at the third edition of the Latin American Cubesat workshop. The maximum and minimum temperatures considered to the orbit are -20 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. Thermoelectric energy generation was obtained by application temperature variations on the surfaces of a TEG. These temperatures represent the Cubesat solar panels temperatures. This bench includes cooling channels used to dissipate the heat generated by the TECs. TECs generate heat or cold, depending to the orbit profile so that the system to achieve the temperature gradients specified. The TEG is responsible by generating the energy to harvesting model proposed. Temperature profiles were emulated in the system to measure the power generations of a TEG with 40 by 40 millimeters. The top graph of the figure shows the temperature profiles of cell 1. These profiles represent the internal and external temperatures on one side of the nanosatellites. The bottom graph shows the voltage obtained at the open circuit thermoelectric generation terminals. In this case, the TEG used can generate up to 500 millivolts when a phase is hotter than the external one. That is, this point indicates that the nanosatellite is under the shadow of the dwarf. When the solar incidence is higher, the TEG can generate just 1.1 volts. With the instantaneous voltage data, it is possible to obtain the instantaneous power generated by the TEG. After that, the total power generated in an orbit was obtained for each of the nanosatellite phases. The table shows the values obtained. Under the condition imposed by temperature gradients, it was possible to obtain the highest power in cell 3, which corresponds to approximately 105.93 joules or 30 milliwatt-hours. To take advantage of this available energy, ultra-low power converters are used. Many models are available. In this work chose to use models that start their operation at extremely lower voltage levels. In addition, converters must provide a regulated output with a voltage level compatible with electronic applications. Two commercial models were chosen for this task, the LTC3108 and the LTC3109. In order to obtain the energy storage level during an orbit cycle and to compare the qualitative performance of the proposed models. Figure shows the input and output values of the LTC3108 converter. The horizontal axis represents time in seconds. The vertical axis represents the voltage level in volts. The sign represents LDO indicates the periods in which the converter remained in operation. With this signal, it is possible to observe that the converter operated for approximately 63% of the orbit. It has been observed that if the TEG generation is in negative polarity, its performance is reduced to approximately 36% in one orbit. The same analysis was made for the LTC3109 model. This model achieved approximately 90% of performance in one orbit. This was possible due to its autopolarity characteristic. That is, the model continues to operate even when the polarity of the source is reversed. Figure in this slide shows this result. To compare the capacity between the circuits, a circuit with optical relays for polarity management was included for the LTC3108 model. Temperature profiles of cell 1 was chosen. The table shows the amount of energy stored in the 1 farad supercapacitor. The LTC3109 model still has a better and a faster storage energy capacity as shown in the second column of the table. A second evaluation was carried out considering fixed temperature gradients. The gradients chosen are based on 2 points of interest for both converters. First point is close to the cold start point of the converters. The second point, the converters have extremely low efficiency and are close to their operation limit. In the experiments, the 3109 model continued to be better. Then the 1 farad supercapacitor has been replaced by 2 5 farad supercapacitors. Increasing the load, the 3108 model obtained a better result. The result was obtained due to the load conditions that influence the efficiency of the source. This work returned important results for investigating the possibility of generating energy in nanosatellites using thermoelectric generators. Quantitative analysis demonstrated that bipolarity converters has important influence in this result. The drawback when using a unipolar model is the need for an external circuit to perform auto-polarization. The circuit requires actuator, instrumentation, and processing that will consume part of the energy obtained. The energy obtained in the experimental is low. However, more efficiency TEG models and converters can be studied for the application. Based on the results obtained in this work, it was possible to develop a complete payload prototype that could be applied in future Cubesat missions. This prototype has an LTC3109 converter embedded with an 1 farad supercapacitor for main load storage. In addition, it employs a set of tantalum capacitors that supply power to the converter during polarity inversion periods. The payload also has an ultra-low power microcontroller, temperature sensors, and analog digital converters for reading the voltage levels of the source and the supercapacitor. It has a set of switches for power management and uses I2C communication to send data to the onboard computer. Well, thank you for your attention.